سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح تنهد يا صاحي كي تستريح.
Assalamu alaikum everybody, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be talking about bad habits not to do as a Muslim in 2025. So these are some topics that I've researched about and I've thought about, and some things that I relate to as a Muslim, and some bad habits we should leave in 2024 inshallah. For all the brothers and sisters that watch my stuff, will continue watching me. So let's get to it. Sorry for that. Number one is zina. Obviously, that's a big topic, and I know every Muslim man or woman does not do it. But that being said, zina is a big sin, and Allah said, "Do not go anywhere near adultery" in the Quran, and there's a verse specifically on zina and stuff like that. So if you are a young Muslim man or even old Muslim man, like older than a teen, like between 16 to like 22, 23, 25 maybe, you're not married, you have sexual thoughts, you want to get married but you can't, and you find it easier to maybe date a non-Muslim woman, or you found a partner and let's say you're in a haram relationship with them and you're about to take it to the next stage, and then because with zina, it doesn't just happen. Like shaitan will slowly build you up and up and up until you realize that it's not even zina. You won't even see it as a sin. That's how bad it gets. He will delude you to the point where it's just normality. He will make you seem like we're in this dunya, everybody else does it, why can't you? This is normal, this is what should be done. If you don't do it, you're weird. Like, it will stimulate your brain to be thinking like that, and that's not good, because as a Muslim, you should know that zina is a big sin, fornication is a big sin, even masturbation is a big sin. Obviously they have different levels of, like, the sin has different level of punishment and repentance, so every single one does not defy or remove the fact that it's a big sin. It always will be, and that is one of the things I think Muslim women and Muslim men should stay away from. They should guard their chastity parts, they should guard, and they should stay halal, and they should stay away from, like, there's not just zina like in physical contact, there's zina of the eyes, there's like you can't look at non-mahram, there's zina of the ears, zina of the nose, zina of like the face, there's like every part of your body part will speak for you on the day of judgment. You can have zina in numerous types of ways, and I'm not saying that to encourage it, I'm just saying lower your gaze, stay a Muslim man, stay on your deen, stay away from those types of sins as a Muslim man and a woman, and try to overcome any sexual thoughts you have, and if you do have them, do it the halal way, because wallahi, zina is not worth it. The punishment you get in this grave, the amount of years, it's like temporary pleasure will never be worth it. It will sound nice now, but the amount of years that you're getting punished for that, or the amount of years that same thing that you did maybe 7 years back when you're 16, now that you're 23, is playing in the back of your head, the value it has on you. Like, even if you don't tell people, people will slowly like be able to tell, and the emotional trauma you will get from it, wallahi, it's not worth it. Like, temporary pleasure is not worth it, masturbation is not worth it, none of these things are worth it. The second thing I want to talk about is obviously masturbation. That as a Muslim man specifically, I don't know how it goes for the women because I'm not a woman, but I have some knowledge of what I'm heard. But I don't want to use that because I'm not a woman, and I feel like a woman should be speaking on that. But as a man, what I say is it will give you lower testosterone, you will feel like a loser. Like, I'm not trying to say this in a rude way, but you'll feel like a loser, your head will be down, you'll feel weaker, you won't have energy, you will think bad of yourself, you won't be able to break the cycle, you won't be able to be as productive. For example, if you go to work, you won't be able to get as much stuff done, you'll feel lazy, you limit yourself, you start thinking that you'll be very lazy, you won't be able to do this, you won't be able to do new things, you'll have goals and you won't set them, and you'll blame yourself in 2025. Say, example, you have some things in 2024 that you want to do this year, because you're the type of man that does that type of stuff on a daily or weekly or monthly basis, is the shaitan has slyly just got in the back of your head, and now he's lowered it to the point where what you were supposed to do by the end of the year you haven't, and one day your time's up. And how are you going to answer to Allah when you're doing stuff like this? Allah can see every single thing we do. Allah can see what I do when I cut the cameras off. Allah can see what I can do when I don't pray salah. Allah can see what I can do or what I can't do behind the scenes. And like they said, I said with zina, is temporary pleasure, and it's not worth it, and it's a very bad habit that Muslims do, and they seek and they have an issue with, and obviously they have an addiction to, which is the main thing that they do. But obviously there's bare guides for free even, and there's bare guides ever on Instagram, there's bare Islamic books, and there's ways to get out of it, but there's more pros than cons of not doing it. You'll have more energy, you can speak to people better, you have more peace, you won't feel like a loser, you can do stuff, be more proactive, you can set goals, you'll feel efficient, you have physically feel better, you'll mentally feel better. It's a lot better to not do it. And yeah, that's literally scientifically proven. Another thing I'd say is this is scientifically proven, right? For example, if I say to myself again and again in the back of my head, my subconscious will pick up. If I say I'm gonna make £1 million by this year, my subconscious will put a pick up. Not saying I will make 1 million, but because there's a thing called like subconscious and scientifically proven that if I say it and I repeat it again and again and again, it becomes a part of the way I live, which makes me a lot closer to the goal than I actually am. So for shorter things like maybe getting 10 or 20k by the end of the year, getting a car and things like that, if you keep repeating it and you keep having that positive mindset, it will influence the way that your life actually goes. It's called manifestation, and it's also called just the way that you think. The way that you think affects the way you behave. If I think I'm a loser by the end of the year, most likely I'm going to be able to, my mind will automatically, subconsciously like react to me as a loser and make me do loser things. So I don't know what loser things are, but my point is that like how you think of yourself and how you perceive yourself is actually how a lot of things work in your life. Because if it keeps going again and again in your normal consciousness, it might not like affect you, but in your subconsciousness that's picking up. And now that's just like it's automatically your brain behind the scenes on the days that you're not thinking by yourself, it's thinking for you. And now if that same thought process in your head again and again, you're gonna be doing that. That's why the friends you pick, things like these, they matter too. But in your subconscious, you need to always have the goal that you have and repeat it and think, I can do it. So if I think I can be a better Muslim by 2025, if I think I can finish the Quran, I can be a Hafs, I can do things like that. And I keep repeating it to the point where it's in my subconscious, I'm a lot likely, and I will actually be able to complete these things. So have these goals in your head and don't think bad of yourself. And subconsciously, and scientifically proven even, have a good a positive mindset of where you're trying to take yourself as a Muslim. Another thing that a lot of university students or even people that work in degrees, people that have a job, work in banks, there's a lot of fields like that are not specifically haram, but they have interest. Interest is obviously a big haram in Islam, and interest in a loan, interest in a bank, interest in a mortgage, interest in uni, that has a haram type of thing to it. It's not a halal loan. It's not permissible and it's haram, and it's a big sin in Islam. Riba is a big sin in Islam. Taking interest is a very big sin in Islam. Dowry is a big sin in Islam. So stay away from interest. Try your best not to do it. Just automatically just stay away from it. Another one is dowry, betting, gambling. That's also a big sin in Islam. You cannot gamble. A lot of people, I see a lot of Muslims. Welcome back to the video. So that's the first part. My camera kind of cut off. So I haven't finished the second part now. This will be edited in one clip. So yeah, obviously it's different for me, but it's different for you. So I was talking about one of the bad habits not to do as a Muslim in 2025. Another one is cursing. Having wrong, inappropriate Islamic language is wrong, and I believe you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't curse. You should try your best not to. I feel like it infuses the way that you act. It changes the way that you act. The way that you gain sin from cursing as well. Obviously, using foul language is haram in Islam. And yeah, I think that's one of the bad habits to leave in 2025. Sorry, excuse me, as a Muslim. Another one is backbiting. This is a very big sin and very common among people, just like cursing, but it's very common. Backbiting is a very big sin. Even if you hate this person, and I've done this myself, and I regret it, I shouldn't be speaking on myself. It's like Allah says to keep it private. But one thing I do know as a Muslim is even if you hate this person from the depths of your heart, backbiting is one of the gravest sins. Because one, you're doing it when the person's not around, and two, most people that backbite, they never say it to the person's face indirectly. And three is a big sin because you're gossiping about somebody that doesn't know you're gossiping about them. Is a big sin, and you're doing this around people, and it increases the big crowd, and now numerous people are gossiping about one person, and that thing that you're gossiping about, you might have heard from a person that was just backbiting because he felt a certain way about somebody, and that backbite and that gossip was wrong, and now you've lied on somebody's name, not just backbite, and it's a very big sin. People think backbiting is very little. I heard this little story from an Islamic channel a long time ago. Something like this lady or this Muslim, I think it was a Muslim lady, like an old lady. She did everything right. She prayed all five. She did all her salah. She read the Quran. She did doves. She did hafs. Like she passed in every type of field. She read Quran, she did namaz, she went umrah, she gave to the poor. She did all the above. But one of her biggest lack of sins was she used to backbite people a lot. And even after all those good deeds accumulated, due to the backbite she did throughout her whole life, when she passed away, there was like screaming coming out of her grave, and her husband used to, like, they asked her husband why is screaming coming out of her grave and why there like mosquitoes biting her grave, and obviously the husband told them that this lady used to backbite heavy. And what I'm saying is people misthink that this is just a little sin, and if you literally look up on Google right now how much of a big sin backbiting is, you will understand. And that's one of the reasons I personally quitted it. Not that I'm proud of even doing it, but you know, I understand as a Muslim we all learn, and with hardship comes ease, and like, eventually everyone grows up. And I was a kid at one point too, but alhamdulillah I'm not anymore. So don't backbite. It's not just one of those little sins. Not that doing little sins is acceptable, unless you want to end up in hell, Jahannam. And I don't think any Muslim lady or brother wants to go there, because it really isn't nice. So yeah. Being not on your deen or salah, so not praying, not reading the Quran, not being on your deen, not praying 5 times a day, not praying Quran, not doing any Islamic acts, not even giving to the poor, not having a good mindset, not doing something for the sake of Allah, not taking care of your parents. These is a very big thing, because one of the biggest punishments I've heard, and everyone knows as a Muslim, this is common facts, is you have everything in this dunya, but Allah has taken away your right to pray 5 times. That means Allah has given you the dunya and not the afterlife, meaning that everything you get, it might be solid and it will continue, probably most likely continue to be solid. You get as much money as you want, you get as much happiness as you want. I don't know bare people that claim they're Muslim in uni and like, just in general that do this. And wallahi, it's disgusting, and I can't even get through to them, but that's how lost their heart is. But my point is, yeah, if Allah has given you everything in this world and you have lived a comfortable and happy life, and you don't thank Allah for it, you don't even say alhamdulillah for it, you don't even do you don't even do taqwa, you don't do nothing, and you don't pray 5 times a day, that means Allah has given you this dunya and not the deen, meaning your lifespan in this dunya will be good, you'll most likely get everything you want, and it will continue to go like that. You might, obviously some people might be cursed for a while, but your life will overall be good financially and in any aspect you want it to be. You will be happy in this life, but when you die, you won't get anything in the next. Like, it will be over for you. You could die tomorrow, knowing it's automatic Jahannam, because what separates a believer from a disbeliever, regardless if you stab people or stuff, or regardless if you punch people, regardless if you do that most extreme haram, is salah. If you pray your 5 times, or if you pray, it should be 5, but if you're starting Muslim, you're a Riva or something, and you pray, that is what separates you. Your intention separates you from a disbeliever. And is that real? Allah is willing to forgive any sin. So everything I'm saying about the people that don't pray, Allah is willing to forgive them too, even though how much of a kafir you have to be born Muslim and not pray, and just neglect Allah to that extent. The bare minimum you can do, Allah is still willing to forgive it. But if you die knowing you didn't pray, you didn't go on a prayer mat at least more than 3 or 4 times in your life, you're gone. You don't even think about having anything in the next life. You will be asked those 3 questions. And that story I told you about the lady that backbited onto Jahannam, she prayed, but she still went Jahannam. Imagine what would happen to the people that didn't pray, because there's levels to Jahannam. That lady could eventually get back to the good, because she had good in her, but she screwed up, you know, and that's just the way it is. Another thing is also overthinking. Don't overthink in Islam. There's no specific rules and regulations or anything Allah. I from what I know, anything Allah said specifically about not overthinking. But I know as a Muslim, I've overthinked before, and it's not good for your mental. And you shouldn't overthink. You should just have trust in Allah. As a Muslim, we should all have trust in Allah, financially, Islamically, and in any type of way, bro. Worrying, same thing as that. Music is a big sin. Music is a very big sin. It's took me a long time to cut it off. Music was something I struggled with for a long time, and I've realized when we have such things like nasheed, and we have such Islamic type of, like, not music, but like Islamic sounds, what is the need to go and listen to haram? Because what we're doing is we're contributing to somebody else doing haram, and we're accepting it, because in a lot of music, a lot of haram things are involved. Even the most basic music, like Ed Sheeran, he's probably talking about something that's haram, but you can't see it because how he promotes himself. He's just a peaceful guy that does pop and music. The fact that you listen to his music and his instruments by itself is haram. This is the shaitan's work. We contribute to the shaitan's work, and the more you realize, and it's not an easy step. You can't, like, I couldn't quit it tomorrow. It will take a long time, but once you slowly get into the habit of listening to nasheeds or replacing music and trying to get rid of it, one, you'll feel better, and two, you really realize your purpose. So I feel like music is a big sin, and inshallah we can all cut it off eventually. Ask any Muslim, they will say the same, or that's what they're trying to do. Alcohol and haram, and I don't just mean drinking alcohol, doing weed, doing drugs, like doing haram, all these things, smoking. I don't mean just doing them. Working in a place as a security bouncer for a haram thing, or working in a casino as a security bouncer, or cashier, or something like that. That is still haram. And what we need to realize is, Allah, there's more barakah in halal jobs than haram. I know there's a crisis for jobs. I struggle with it myself. But I would never, and I've been offered a job in a casino, like, where I'm working like at the haram pass, like bouncer, cashier, but I declined it on 3 occasions. I got offered a full-time job that paid 30k a year. Not really trying to put my business out. That was at one point in my life. I don't need that, but I'm saying is, I offered that. I didn't take it because it's haram, and obviously there's no barakah in any haram jobs. It's better to be jobless, which I'm not, but it's better to be jobless at that point than to take a haram job, and that's the reality of it, because you don't know how much sins come with that, and really we're only here in this dunya for the sake of Allah, and if you die tomorrow at that job, what do you think Allah's reaction for that is going to be? You know, I know bare people that have done these type of things, and they kind of got influenced, or they got misguided into it, but they left them. The real Muslims left them, and the non-Muslims stayed, and the excuse was, who's going to feed my family? Is Allah not hearing? They think it's a joke. It's not. And the same with that is not to smoke, not to vape. There's no really excuses for that type of stuff, and I'm not going to put my business out, but at some point in everyone's life, every Muslim has gone down a haram route, and we're not here to judge, we're just here to change. That type of stuff will only push you towards what you're really not, and people only do it for temporary peace. It's kind of like doing masturbation stuff or a lot of things like this. It's temporarily better for you. It won't affect you in the long run. Look at all the things drugs do to you, even if you're not a Muslim. Look at all the side effects for it. But why do people do it? For pleasure, for peace, because they like it. Is it worth it? No. People will be like, it's just one pool, it's just one pool. It's just a vape, it's not even weed, it's just a vape. Unacceptable. Why are you smoking your lungs out on an electronic thing? This is what I mean by we're going backwards. Following what the shaitan says, we shouldn't be doing that. So I think these are some of the sins that people in this generation, in last year, 2024, should leave behind and work towards. Or if you're in 2025 watching this and this is your FYP for a reason, change it and don't become the man you once was, or woman. May Allah forgive us. I'm not here to judge you if you do any of these, or if you have had any interest in any of these. I'm just here to guide you and let you know where it really is, and inshallah we can all change for it and do better, including myself.
سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح تنهد يا صاحي كي تستريح وبث الدعاء